Welcome to Petrohead's Simracing Widowmaker series, round 1 here at the Red Bull Ring Spielberg Grand Prix Circuit. I'm Adam Stewart, your host for today. Qualifying is just finished, and in row 1 we find Henrik Andreasen, who put in a blistering time of 1:36.6. That's fast. That is a full second and a half faster than his nearest competitor, Samuel Oliveira. Followed by Andy Darnell and Timo Konecny in row 2. Row 3, we find Matty Renault and John Spriggs. Row 4, Javier Lopez and Christian Kubovics. And rounding out the top 10, we have Vic Vega and Chris Williams. The 1977 Porsche 911 Turbo is dubbed the Widowmaker at 2,850 pounds or 1,293 kilograms and generates 256 horsepower from the turbocharged flat six with a top speed of 156 miles per hour or 251 kilometers an hour. Is a handful to drive. The moniker comes from the inexperienced drivers who would hit a turn, throttle up to get a quick thrill, and unfortunately the turbo would kick in and cause a massive oversteer. The turbo kicks at a higher RPM, and when you're in a corner and pushing on the throttle, that can sometimes surprise a driver. Right now the drivers are pulling their safety belts one more time. Tech is just about done. Everyone's on the grid. All the engine fires. The stands are packed and everyone is on their feet cheering. And they are off. Hendrick is not getting the start. He barely got missed by Andy Darnell and Matt Renault. Andy Darnell with his patented start from the heavens, and he is off. Hitting T1 there. We are 5 wide going in, and looks like we are clean through T1, heading down a little bit of a hill. Going to get ready to go up where the cars like to compress. We are hearing over the crew chief radio from Henrik Andreasen that he dropped the clutch a little bit fast. Let's take a look at that and see what it looked like in a live form as he gets ready. Oh, look at that. You can hear it in the motor. It just dropped. He is lucky Andy Darnell did not hit him. That was some great driving by both Andy Darnell and Matt Renault. Back to the live action now as we're heading down towards Ranch Turn, also known as T4. Look at Hendrick already looking to go forward some more. And Matty Renault is not giving up either. Andy Darnell is holding on to P1 with Samuel Oliveira just pushing him as fast, as hard as he can. Really wants to get that P1. Starting P2, Oliveira, it did qualify faster than Andy, but there wasn't that big of a disparity between the two of them. As we're going down through T7 into the T8 area, as we're heading slowly, kind of swooping up and down hills here. Not a big elevation change until you get to here. Then it's all downhill into the last turn, T10. Coming through first lap here, Andy Darnell is holding serve in P1. And Andreasen is actually looking into getting into P2. Oh, we have a spin. Looked like Willems might have lost it. That's what I was talking about. A little bit too much throttle there can make you just oversteer quickly into the inside areas. And look at Andreasen. As we said, he qualified faster than everybody by a second and a half. And obviously he is going to take P1 as soon as he can. And that was a pretty textbook pass. Jumps to the inside, just swept right by him. Coming out of that T3 area, coming down the hill just a bit here, we find some stuff going on in the back. Andy Darnell still in second place. Not bad for someone who started third. He is running them down. Samuel Oliveira right behind him, trying to get by him still. Just has not got the oomph to overtake him. To it, looks like he had spun back there. That's not good. He is dropping fast. Look at that, 5 seconds, 5.3. He is coming down quick. All the way down to last place. Something must have bad happened there. I don't see any damage on the car. Oh, what happened? That's our leader. Andreasen off into the... What's happened here? Let's take a look at this replay. As we're looking, he's spinning. Oh, look. Oh. There it is. You can hear him losing it. Oh, just into the barrier he goes. How much damage is on that car? We'll see here in a few. Oh, look at the hood. That's not good at all. But that gives a lead back to Andy Darnell. And now we got a challenge for second between Konecny and Oliveira. Konecny thinking, you know what? You weren't that much faster than me in qualifying, maybe I could just draft up and pass you by. Oh, a little flash of the lights. It's telling him, hey, I'm faster than you right now. I'm going to go by. But Oliveira says, I don't think so. Look, Oliveira's sideways. Oh, he saved it. That was a great save. And here we are coming down now. Oliveira's got his hands full. When you heat the tires up in these cars, it is hard to cool them off. And he's sideways again. A little love tap by Mr. Renault. I'm sure that he didn't mean that. That little love tap probably helped out Oliveira because it probably kept him from spinning the rest of the way around and he just had nowhere to go. It doesn't look like either car has any damage. And here we see a fight for 6th place between Christian Kubovics and Vic Vega. And here we have a fight with Christian Kubovics and Vic Vega for 6th place, right on the heels of John Spriggs. And they are just pushing left and right, trying to get around. You can see here Christian is trying to go an over-under, which doesn't really work there. He is going to show his nose out there to Vic to see if he can get Vic to bite. It looks like Vic did, but to no avail. Vic still held that turn just enough. Samuel Oliveira still in 4th place here, trying to get his bearing back. After heating up those tires, you could tell he was struggling. But it looks like he's got his tires back under him, and he is back on the charge, trying to get back up there and take back that 3rd position. Not that Renault's just going to pull over and let him go, because nobody does that nowadays. Oliveira taking a look to the inside. Tried the over-under, late apex. And it looked like Renault got a little bit loose there coming out of there, but he's held on to the position. And Oliveira is still looking down to the inside, maybe just showing him the nose. And Renault is a little bit worried there. Does give him enough room. Oh, little touch. They are side by side coming around that 5th turn, heading down into T6. And Matty Renault keeps that position. Oliveira's not done yet, though. He is just going to keep on pushing Renault until he either makes a mistake or he gets by him. Renault a little bit wide there. Holds it, but he definitely did not get the drive out. And Oliveira looks like he is going to take that position. As we look back at Jiri Holland. Jiri Holland is a new one to me, but I do like his livery. It's my favorite. Back up front between Timo Konecny and Andy Darnell. Konecny just seems to be following him around. Every once in a while, he'll pick up a 10th or so. And it looks like he's actually starting to push him again. Here we go. The lead is on fire. We got Andy Darnell leading with Timo Konecny trying to close in and make the pass and take P1. From experience, I know that Andy Darnell is not the easiest guy to pass. He knows exactly where to place that vehicle and is not slow, but isn't the fastest either. Look at him. He's riding right down the middle, making Timo have to go to the outside. That's some strategic track usage there. Looks like he's going to get him, though. Konecny doesn't. Oh, they're side by side still with Andy Darnell just pushing him. Timo's down to the inside, but Andy holds true on the outside. Track usage at its finest there, folks. Look at this race. This is awesome. Still going at it. Timo wants that position. Right now, behind these two, Samuel Oliveira is 2.5 seconds back, hoping that they scuffle up a little bit so he can get back up there to get into this challenge for first. Timo jumps to the inside, showing him his nose, trying to make Andy make a mistake, but then falls back in line. As we're coming down into the last T10, Andy Darnell still in first place. Oh, look at that, jumping the curb a little bit. Timo is trying everything he can to get a run. He's trying to get the draft down the front. Just was not close enough to make a move there. Andy Darnell could see that and just held the outside. Coming out of T1, we're heading down the Munzer turn. It's a little bit of a kink to the left here. Not much of any slowing down at all needed. And Andy Darnell is going to make Timo try the outside again. As they hit their braking zones, Timo's trying to do the quick cut back and does not work for him. He is giving it everything he got. I don't know if he has any more for him, but he's going to have to push hard. As we look back, Timo and Darnell are just nose to tail, 2 laps in a row now. And Samuel Oliveira is closing that gap. He's down under 2 seconds. And he is liking what he is seeing up front. The more they fight, the more he gets to close in. Timo is pushing for everything he's got, trying to get there, trying to get to the back bumper, trying to do anything he can to pass up Andy Darnell. John Spriggs getting passed there by Chris Kubovics. Andy Darnell has actually spaced it out a little bit. Not sure how or why, but he is actually starting to pull away from Timo. And both Timo and Darnell are starting to push away from Oliveira. He is still 2 seconds. He'd gotten it under there, but he's back to that 2-second mark. Still nose to tail, no change in the front. Andy has opened up a half a second gap, which is definitely going to benefit him some and not help Oliveira at all, because Oliveira wants them to be fighting for position so that he can catch up. Back here, we got Vic Vega, Chris Kubovics, and John Spriggs. You could throw a blanket over these guys. They are so close. Watch from Kubovic's car here. He is just pushing Vic Vega, trying to get past him, trying to find something in his car that was going to bake it so that he could pass him. He's going to duck down to the inside. Oh, Chris goes wide. And we're back up front as Tonetsky. Oh, they touch. Andy Darnell almost off track. They are nose to tail. Tonetsky's definitely pushing him, and you can see what that does. Oliveira is obviously starting to catch up, back under 2 seconds again. As soon as they start to scuffle up, that's what happens, is someone behind them is going to catch you. So you want to make a pass fast. And Timo is trying. Coming into turn 10, coming out, he is right on the bumper. Andy is doing everything he can to keep him behind him. Riding on board here with Timo. You can see the cars never get to top speed to be able to take advantage of the draft. Andy Darnell and Timo are wide, both of them, but that does not help them as Oliveira is slowly catching them. Timo's going to look to the outside one more time. They are side by side, door to door, going into the braking zone. What is going to happen? Timo is going to try the over-under again. And he does not do it. Andy Darnell holds serve again. He's just getting that pull out of that turn. And look at this. Timo's going to look to the outside one more time, going into Raunch turn. Andy's excellent track usage again, forcing Timo to try the outside one more time. Here it is. Andy Darnell's way to the inside. He is going to hold it and going to look for the undercut. And again, they are side by side again. What a race we have here, folks. They are going into turn 6, just side by side, everywhere they're at. Tonetsky trying everything, over, under. He's on the inside now, but again, Andy Darnell, he is no slouch. He is a master at this. Come and get me if you can, he says. He's a little bit wide. Konetsky's on the outside. They're coming down. Andy's still, oh, he's way outside. He's going off. He's off into the gravel. Oh, that allowed Oliveira to get by him. Here we're watching a replay of John Spriggs. A little bit too much brakes there, and he spun it around. We saw that in the background as we were talking about Andy Darnell and Timo Konetsky. All that fighting, you can see there that Oliveira is now only half a second behind Konecki. That fight that Andy Darnell and Timo Konecki had caught him right up. Here you got Samuel Oliveira, who is now 0.8. So Konecki pulled away a little bit. We're not sure how much the tires and engine and everything else they used. Oliveira obviously used quite a bit of tire at the beginning, and he's probably used his car pretty well trying to catch up to them. But how much did Timo use trying to get around Andy Darnell? Samuel Oliveira slowly closing in on Timo Konecki. This guy's qualified second and fourth, along with Andy Darnell qualified third. So we are definitely in the elite group here up in the front. So coming down through turn 9 into turn 10 to go across the start-finish line. We got 5 minutes left. Is that enough time for Oliveira to not only catch him but pass him? It's not going to be easy. He is right on the back end, 0.2 of a second behind him. He decides not to try it into T1. He is going to just blend in behind him. He's going to try the over-under and does not cut back soon enough. This is allowing Andy Darnell to come back up into the fight again as he is closing that distance down. They are side by side going into turn 3. And around goes John Jancic. He is dropping. He had made it all the way up to 5th position. We are side by side at the front with Oliveira and Konecki. Oliveira is trying so hard. He's going to get him right here. Just outpowered him out the outside. As many times as we saw Konecki try that to Darnell, I did not think that was going to work, but he definitely went around the outside of him, and his tire stuck. I'm wondering how much Timo's car is hurt from all the fight that him and Andy had. And that little bit of fighting has actually brought Matty Renault back into the mix as well. Look at that. We could throw a blanket off the top 4, cover them all with one. And Samuel Oliveira is in the front. He qualified second, and he is starting to gap Timo slowly but surely. He's caught him. Oh, look at what's going on back here. Oh, my goodness. Did you see Renault? His car definitely got out of shape. There's a lot of damage. He's lucky he didn't hit rear end. That engine being in the back of these cars, that could have been game over for him. Race would have been finished right then. He is dropping still back down to 5th, 6th position. No change in the front. Renault's down to 7th. His car's got to be damaged at this point. Andy Darnell in 3rd place. And as you see, these guys are definitely have used their cars. As you can see, their track times coming down. Every lap is just a bit slower than it was from the previous ones. Here we can see John. We saw him spin earlier. And here he is fighting, trying to get back around Matty Renault, who's got a hurt vehicle, as we saw him spin. Look at that. That thing is dragging the front. Wonder how much damage he's got underneath there. The whole front end there is just dragging. Not stopping him from pushing, though. He is not going to give up. But it looks like John is going to get around the outside of him here. And if he's lucky, he doesn't lose the next position to Vic Vega. He drops it behind him, going down into Launch Turn. John Spriggs leads this group as they're heading down into, what's that, T6 and T7, the Graz turn. Matty Renault is not giving up. Oh, look at that. John is off. Oh, and he's spinning. Look at this. He's spinning, which is slowing everything down. Oh, my goodness. Well, good save. He didn't hit a wall. That means he doesn't have any damage. Back up front, Andy Darnell is starting to close the gap on Timo. I think Timo might have really used up that car when he was trying to pass Andy, and it's showing now. He's slowly going backwards. John Jancic back on the road after having that spin. That was a crazy long spin. Testing out the tires there, trying to get him back underneath him. Clean him of all the dirt that he got going through the sand there. Andy Darnell's slowly closing in on Timo. He doesn't have much time left. Maybe 1 or 2 more laps is all they've got left. And here we see Matty Renault is found the car again because he is pushing John Spriggs as much as he can. He's going to try him around the outside. I don't know how well his car's handling. But it's well enough for him to make that pass. Look at the damage on the front end of that car. He's missing the light bulb. And we know lights make you go faster. That's when they were flashing the lights earlier. Made an easy pass that way. So, he's going wide. I bet you that car's not wanting to turn that way with the front end dragging the ground. Although it does look like he may have lost his bumper. Oh, he got a little loose there. That's going to give John a chance. John's going to take full advantage of that as he goes around the outside into turn 8 there, heading down into the Ranch Wind turn. I'm sorry, it's Joe's. I don't know how to say that word, though. John is taking down that position. It looks like he's going to keep it unless Matty Renault has something to say about it. Coming into T1, the Niki Lauda turn. Renault's not giving up though. He's got this last lap to try to catch him and pass him. Definitely his brakes are working better because he is definitely putting a school on John with those brakes. He has caught him like he was standing still almost. And John might have heated up his tires with his spin earlier as well. Oh, John sideways. Oh, a little touch, but he held it. Here we go. We got Matt Renault on the way. Oh, John says, I'm not done yet. I am not done yet. He knows these left turns are his bread and butter because that Matty Renault car is not turning to the left well. There it is. You see, he just said, I know you can't turn. So all I had to do was be close. Now John's just got to hold on for another 2 turns. He's got the turn 9 and turn 10 coming. We're going to go back and look at Luxa and see how he's doing. Pablo Luxa raced for Tugas Racing International. He is following Yuri Holland. Yuri Holland is driving the livery I like the most. Oh, and Pablo went off just a little bit into that sand trap, and that gives it up. He is not going to get into a top 10 position. He is finishing left, 11th. And Mr. Sieg for 944 Housewife Racing Team comes in at a 13th position. And here we have our top 10, Oliveira Konecki, Chris Kubovics, Andy Darnell, Hendrik Andreasen, who after that spin has come back to 5th. That's good. John Spriggs, Matty Renault, Vic Vega, Matt Tuitt, and Yuri Holland round out your top 10. For race 2, we are going to be having a reverse grid. And Samuel Oliveira decided to leave and not show up for the second race. So we have John Spriggs who ended up on pole here. And as we get ready for the second race, we are gridded. Here they go. And Andy Darnell with another start from the gods. And it looks like Mr. Spriggs had a problem getting up the line. He has dropped all the way back to, looks like, 9th or 10th position. This comes out of turn 1. He is going to get one of those back here. But wow, what a start for Andy again. All the way to the front. Did it twice in a row now. He's got the start. He knows how to do it. It's going to be a little bit different. He's got Hendrik Andreasen right behind him this time as we turn into turn 2 there. A little bit of door banging going on there. Taking a look at John Spriggs, who's trying to recover from that horrendous start. Coming down the inside of Mr. Ebert. Ebert's loose. Oh, he's loose. He's losing. He's going out. Oh, good save. He didn't wreck it, but he is definitely going to lose that position. Timo Konecny. He is in 3rd place. Following Andy Darnell. Hendrik Andreasen got by Andy Darnell. Missed that one. Here's John Jancic spinning. And here we go with Timo Konecny and Andy Darnell. This was the fight the whole race, the first one. Darnell not letting Andreasen get away. Back in the back, you see Michael Tuick going on the inside of Matty Renault. And once again, Timo is back on the back bumper of Andy, trying to get by him again. Round 2, here we go. Konecny's going to try the outside again. We saw this all the way through race 1, and here we are with race 2. Same exact thing. He stayed on the outside that time, didn't try to cut back up under him, do the over-under. And here he is going to try the outside again. And here you got Matty Renault, Michael Tuitt, and Vic Vega all nose to tail. John Spriggs is not too far behind him, still trying to recover from that start he had. We're hearing a little radio chatter from Timo saying he does not like to have those headlights on behind him. And we are watching Timo Konecny try it again. You know, he's going to try this over and over again until he succeeds. But Andy Darnell is cool like the other side of the pillow. He doesn't break very easily. Coming down into turn 10 there. Still nose to tail. We have Chris Kubovic, which is hanging with him pretty well. Coming down into T1 again. Andy offers Konecny the outside. And again, Timo's just unable to take advantage. Looks like he's on the inside of him here. Vic Vega with a little spin. Doesn't look like his car is any worse for wear. And again, Timo's on the outside. He tries the over-under. Never worked for him in the first race. Here we are coming down into Raunch turn. Oh, look at this run. He's got to run. He's going to be on the outside come the next turn. He's on the inside now. Andy Darnell holds turn again. Oh, Egbert just a bad spin, hitting my favorite looking car, Holland. And it looks like Ebert left the race after that. Must have really damaged his car bad. As we come down to finish lap 3, we got it. Hendrik Andreasen driving away. He's already 4 seconds in front of everybody. Andy Darnell, Tim Konecny, and Kubovic are still nose to tail. Oh, Timo saying, I'm taking the inside early this time for this turn 2, hopefully to have a little bit further ahead of him when he gets to turn number 3. And he does. He makes the pass. Andy Darnell's that now in a position he hasn't been in very often behind Timo. Let's see what happens here. John Springs and Maddie to it. Michael to it. Got Andy Darnell just pushing behind Timo. Timo looks like he's not familiar with being in the front. He's not pulling away like I thought he would. Andy Darnell showing him the nose. Timo did run wide, got into the gravel, and he loses that position. Michael Tuitt and John Spriggs, they look like they're on a team. Got the same livery. Well, it looks like Andy Darnell turned on his lights. Maybe that's what threw Timo off. Michael Tuitt's going to try to take John Spriggs down on the inside here. John Spriggs still trying to recover from that start. He has made up 4 of those positions so far. And back up front, not quite the front, because we have Andreasen, who is just running away 5 laps. He's already 7 seconds ahead. That's more than second lap. And he wasn't in first to start the first few turns there. Just heard on the radio from between the crew chief and Hendrik Andreasen that he is saying he is just putting in times to try to beat his personal best. Ooh, Andy got a little bit wild there coming out of turn number 9, but he holds his position as we cross the start finish line, finishing lap number 6. Kupavic's got a little bit sideways back there. Probably heated up those tires. He is starting to drop away from these two. They've just about got 1 second of a lead on him. We saw in race 1 that when you heat up the tires, it takes a few laps to kind of get those back down to temperature. Still, we got Timo chasing Andy Darnell. Timo taking a look on the inside there. He just keeps showing Andy Darnell that nose, saying, hey, I'm right here. Don't forget about me. As we're watching the timing, John Spriggs is slowly but surely tracking down Kubovic. A while ago, he was just about 4 seconds behind. He's tracked it down to 2.5 seconds. As we finish lap 6, we have Hendrik Andreasen up front, along with Andy Darnell in second, Tim Konecki in third still. This position just has not seemed to have changed. John Spriggs still trying to catch up to Chris Kubovic. It seems to me that Andy Darnell, from turn 10 till about turn 4, has the advantage, but all the way through the back end of the track, turn 4 all the way up until turn 10, is where Timo just seems to track him down and take that lead away over and over again and try to make moves. Of course, as soon as I say that, it looks like Andy Darnell is holding his own this round. This lap he's doing quite well. He's actually pulled out to almost a half a second lead. So it seems like right around here is where Timo starts to catch up with him. Danny Darnell still got that half-second lead. And if you look in the back, you can actually see that John Spriggs has actually caught Chris Kubovics. He's only half a second behind him as well. As you watch here, you can see Timo Konecki's just already 0.2. He's coming up. He's drafting him. Not that these cars get a lot of draft, but they get enough. Andy Darnell is going to hand him the outside again. This seems to be the story of both races. I'll let you have the outside, but I'm going to take that inside. And it looks like Timo got a great launch coming out of that turn. Oh, and Chris. Oh, that's John Spriggs spinning around. Now we got Andy Darnell on the outside. And Timo's made the pass. Andy Darnell wasn't finished, though. He's going to jump right back down to the inside of him. These guys swap positions. What an excellent fight. These two are just going at it like there's no tomorrow. And once again, Timo finds himself coming into turn 9 and 10. Well, just a little bit behind Andy Darnell. John Spriggs with that little spin ended up all the way back into 8th position. Giving that up to Matty Renault, Michael Tuitt, and Vic Vega have all gotten by him. Andy Darnell went a little bit wide there. And right away, Timo jumps down to the inside. He's got the preferred line this time. Let's see what Andy Darnell can do with the outside of the track. And he holds it again. Oh, late braking. Oh, a little bit late there. Timo gets the inside. He is going past him. He stretched that out to almost a 1 second lead right off the bat. That one turn, that one little mistake by Andy really put a big damper on his opportunities. We got John Spriggs trying to recover from that spin. Back up front with Andy Darnell and Timo Konecki. And again, we still have Andreasen driving away. 11-second lead. Just like the first race, unless Andreasen makes a mistake, I don't think these guys are going to catch him. Coming down to finish lap number 9. We have a swap between second and third. We now have Timo lead in that fight. And look at this. Timo made a little mistake coming out of turn 10. Andy Darnell's right back into it. He's going to try to go around the outside of him here in turn 1. Side by side they hit. Andy Darnell's going to go for the over-under. Just nothing there. What a great fight they're having here between the two of these gentlemen. They call this car the Widowmaker because it is hard to drive. And these guys are doing it for 40 minutes. 2 20-minute races back-to-back, nose to tail. And John Spriggs still on a recovery drive, trying to get back to where he started, or at least up into the top 5. He has caught Vic Vega and Michael Tuitt. Now he's just got to get himself back in position to get around them. Oh, and Timo has gone wide. Andy Darnell back around him again. Timo must be as frustrated as he could be. Probably kicking himself right now after making another mistake. He had that second position kind of sewn up there, but obviously Andy Darnell is not going to give up. And here they go. We got 3 more minutes of this fighting action. Coming down to finish lap 11. Again, Timo gets that run out of turn 10. He's going to try it around the outside. Andy Darnell says, you don't have time for that. There's braking time. And here we go, coming down this big, long, straight with just a little bit of a kink. You know, turn 2 is, they call it the Munzer turn, but it's just a small little kink in the road. You can see it right there. No braking involved. Timo on the outside, trying the over-under again. He did it once before and made it work. He's going to try it again. Andy Darnell did not make any mistakes there. He's kept that position. And look at Timo, just right on the heels of Andy Darnell. Bumper to bumper. Andy's going to cover off the inside. Say, again, if you're going to pass me, you're going to do it on the outside. Timo showing Andy all kinds of bumpers. Both mirrors getting filled. Oh, we got a little bit squirrely there. John Spriggs did get by both Vic Vega and Michael Tuitt. Coming through turns 9 and 10 here. Timo's still right on the bumper of Andy Darnell. He's going to try him probably in a different position this time. He's going to try to really get him down the straight. Probably should have stayed behind him and tried to get a little bit of a draft. Andy Darnell's going to just fade over just a little bit. Here they are, nose to tail, coming out of turn 1. This has been the story of the day. In the background there, I don't know if you saw it, but you could see that Matty Renault has caught Chris Kubovitz. John Jensic is not having the race he'd like to be having. This Widowmaker is a hard car to drive, and John is paying the price. Timo still trying the outside, trying the outside, trying the outside. He's just going to keep on trying until it works. Or maybe he can force Andy into another mistake. They've both had a couple mistakes this race. Unlike the first race, they were really clean. Andy got a little sideways there, but held it. Timo was close. He just had nowhere to go. I think Andy has found a little bit extra pace here. I think it might be the headlights. It's definitely got him much more aggressive in the second race than he was in the first one. Maybe that's what it is they're both being a little bit more aggressive, trying to keep that position. Andy shaves over to the side, to the inside, saying, if you're going to pass me, you're going to do it on the outside. I don't know where you thought you were going, Timo. And how much abuse did Andy put on his car to keep up with Timo and to stay out in front of him? Down through the turn 2, the Munzer turn. We're heading to hit T3, and again, Andy Darnell says, if you want it, take the outside. Oh, what a cut. Andy Darnell missed the gear or something there. He definitely did not get on the gas soon enough, because around goes Timo. He is gone. Here we got Matty Renault and Christian Kubovic just going at it. Matty got him from the inside, but Chris did the over-under and took him right back away from him. Oh, looks like he's getting a little bit hot. Oh, Matty almost lost it there. Good recovery. Way not to spin it. He's off into the grass. Here we got Michael Tuitt and John Spriggs. John did get around Michael Tuitt, so we're on a rage. Here we go, back up the front. Andy Darnell, Timo Konecki, nose to tail, and Andreasen is still running away with it. His only got time of 11 seconds out front. That seems weird. It is dropping so quick. Oh, that race is over. He's done. This is last lap for Andy Darnell to try to pass him. Same thing with Michael Tuitt and John Spriggs here, nose to tail again. And it looks like Michael Tuitt is going to come in behind John Spriggs. Let's cut back here. Let's take a look at Luke Za. Jan Jenzik here in 10th place. Definitely not having the race he's used to having. Definitely struggling with this car. Coming in at 10th place. And as long as there's not any more accidents, we're going to have Mr. Sieg coming in 11th place and Chris Willems coming in 12th. There we see Andrew Sieg crossing the line, and behind him is Chris Willems crossing the finish line. So let's take a look at our finishing position. Obviously, we have Henrik Andreasen finishing in first, along with Timo Konecki and Andy Darnell in second and third, Matty Renault in fourth, John Spriggs in fifth, Michael Tuitt in sixth, Vic Vegas seventh, Pablo Lacusta in eighth, John Jancic in ninth, and Andres Sieg in 10th. That rounds out your top 10. And the rest of the field is Willems, Ebert, Kubovic, Holland, Oliveira, and Lopez. I think next we should probably look at the point standing to see how this all shook out. We got Timo Konecki in first, along with Hendrik Andreasen in second. Rounding out your whole top five is going to be Andy Darnell, Samuel Oliveira, and Matty Renault. John Spriggs, Christian Kubovic, Michael Tuitt, Vic Vega, Pablo Luxa. Round out your top 10. And then we'll take a quick look at the team standings. We got Tugas Racing International in first, Totemacher, Team Dabi D Dabi Die in third, Tugas Racing in fourth, 944 House Wife Racing in Team B in fifth, Simracing Belgium sixth, Volco Racing, maybe it's VLKO Racing Team A in seventh, DG Reparto Course in eighth, Simracing Friends in 9, and 944 Housewife Racing Team A. And that's going to be it for us today. Thank you for joining us. Stay cool like the other side of the pillow.